the easiest way to confuse a dog is to talk to the dog. Because a verbal communication from us in human terms, in a vocalization, which we call speaking, confuses the dog more than anything in the world. And the reason for that is because there's been no association from the words to an action. So if you want to confuse a dog, if you want to frustrate a dog, just talk to him. Because imagine a dog walking up to you and woof, 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 you're trying to figure out, what is he trying to tell me, right? Obviously. If a dog comes and looks at you, you go, what's up? Or if he's punching you with his muzzle, what do you need? And he says, what is it? You will become extremely frustrated because you can't figure out what he's trying to tell you. But if he grabs you by the sleeve and pulls you over somewhere and shows you there's a dead mouse or something, he has shown you what he wanted. So to be fair to the dog, you should communicate with the dog in a way that he's going to understand. Which means don't give him a bunch of information that he can't process, which is auditory. Auditory communication with a dog will frustrate him because he will try to figure out what you mean, or at some point he'll just shut down and say, well, I can't communicate with you, and that frustration will demolish the relationship between you and the dog. If you want to teach a dog something, show him clearly what you want him to know, what you want him to do, or what you want him not to do. Physically show him. Lure him with a treat, with a toy, with your hand, with body pressure, because that communication will get the dog to clearly understand that. Once he understands it, then you can link a word to it. Right? If you want the dog to come to you, don't just stand across from him and yell, come, 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 because he doesn't know what that word means. If you go to another country and you want to learn that language and people just talk at you in that language without any kind of reference, they're not pointing to anything, or they're not gesturing or showing you things, you will never learn that language. Is there anybody in here who English is their second language? No. Okay, it is mine. So I spoke German as my native language when I came to this country. I knew one word in English, and the word was garbage. I don't know why that was the word I knew, but that was the word I knew. I knew no other words. So when people say to me, well, I came from Guatemala, I came from Korea, I came from Spain, or wherever they came from, and they don't speak the language, I get it. I was there. I was young, I was about 8, 9 years old, but I understand the frustration, which is why I think I can clearly understand how frustrated a dog can be with verbal communication. You just don't get it. So you either do one of two things. You get so frustrated, or you just tune out. Right? If I watch a TV show in another language, I can't just tune out and read the subtitles. Right? Everybody does that. So to get a dog to understand something, whether it's a shelter dog or a pet dog, show him what it is, lure him to do what it is, then add a word to it and mark what it is. If you want to confuse the dog, just talk to him. Just blah, 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 blah. And you will destroy the relationship between you and the dog. And people do it all the time. They tell the dog, come, and the dog doesn't come, so they yell it louder, come! Dogs aren't deaf. Right? A dog's hearing is so much stronger than ours that a dog can hear at 75 feet what you and I can hear at 15 feet. So yelling at them does not teach them what you want them to know. Yelling at them just makes it worse. It puts more stress factor on the dog because the increased volume and your increased stress by saying these things to him then frustrates him more, and you have a frustrated dog. And when, as you know, when you're frustrated, you can't learn anything. So the more I frustrate the dog, the less likely I am to get him to learn. If you want to teach him, show him. Lure him, show him, mark it, and reward it. So when he does what you want him to do, there's a party. That single action of rewarding a dog makes them feel like that was the right thing to do. There has to be a reward. It doesn't have to be a treat. It can be, and I like it when it's a treat. That's how I train. It doesn't have to be a toy, but I like it. I use toys when I train because it marks something very strong in the dog. It can be affection. It can be a removal of stress or a removal of pressure. If I want to teach a dog to come and I've got him on a tight leash and he starts to come towards me, I can release the pressure on the leash so the dog knows that that's what I wanted him to do. But a jackpotted reward, a reward that involves abundant praise or abundant treats or a big play session with a tug toy or throwing a ball, makes the dog's mind think this is a jackpot, this is what he wanted, and makes the dog continue that behavior or want to, desire to repeat that behavior. And that's how you get faster results. So yeah, you can train a dog with a lot of pressure, with a lot of negative, with a lot of compulsion, but you're not going to get the same results you're going to get when you train a dog with abundant praise, abundant treats, abundant rewards, because those are much better factors to learning, even for people. So I can tell you, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to whip you. You'll go out and you'll do what I asked you to do, but you're not happy about it. But if I say to you, if you go out and do what I asked you to do, and I'm going to buy you a car, you're going to go out and do that job and be really, really happy about it. And that's really a good way to look at how we should train a dog. And training is everything, right? Training is getting the dog just to be happy, to bond with us. That single action is a huge part of training. And we want to always make sure that the dog is reinforced in doing what they should do, and they will continue to do what they should do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel.